Hey guys, Careless here, and today I want to have a little discussion with you about Goku and Beerus, and who's the stronger. I mean, at least going into the Power of Tournament, the Tournament of Power. Wow, I can't even speak correctly today. Oof. Let's see how far we get. The reason why I bring this up is because throughout all of Super, Beerus really has been the benchmark of the strongest. At least through all the prior arcs up until now. And then obviously, as we're going into the Tournament of Power, it has been stated that Universe 7 does have the second lowest mortal level. Now, we are pretty aware that that doesn't entail only power level, that there are other factors that are involved. But I certainly think that power level, or at least the strength of your universe, has a factor. Seeing as Universe 11 being one of the universes that doesn't seem to have to be involved, is also one of the strongest. So there must be a factor there. And obviously we found out that Beerus is the god of destruction for the second lowest, which means that with that prevailing theory that maybe Beerus isn't as strong in the god hierarchy as we have so far been led to believe. Now obviously we know that Toppo is in the lead up to becoming a god of destruction, and Goku is about to fight him, or at least that's where we are currently. Now, depending on how this fight goes, this could mean that either Goku is as strong as Beerus, or at least, or maybe even stronger. This is where I'm going with this. Now, I feel like there have been loads of hints to this throughout Dragon Ball Super, right from the beginning all the way up until he went and spoke to the Omni King. Because obviously during the first arc, it obviously went Super Saiyan 3, got stomped, and then went Super Saiyan God, at least the red form, and still got beaten, although we don't know exactly how much power Beerus was using, so it's up for debate. Obviously the movie said one thing, the anime said nothing. It is really up for debate at this stage. Obviously then going into the Revival of F arc, he's obviously mastered, or at least learned to control the Super Saiyan blue form as it becomes. And even Whis states that if Goku and Vegeta work together, that they would be a genuine threat for Frieza. And wonders how they would react to finding out that Beerus was involved in the destruction of their home planet. This, of course, throws Beerus like a sweat moment where he's like having a full panic. He's like, no, they don't need to know about that. Which highly implies that if they both wanted to work together against Beerus, they might be a threat. At least together. So, obviously that means at this point that Goku isn't enough of a threat on his own, but they're certainly aiming towards that. And then, obviously, as the story progresses, we end up in the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, which was fantastic. And towards the end of that, Goku shows off his trump card. He pops out the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Now, up until this point, I think Beerus felt very confident that he was the stronger, that he had no real threat within our universe, and that was just the status quo, and he was good with that. But when Hit and Goku are having a chat, he says that we're just pawns in their game. Now that can be taken as either the Universe 6 and 7 tournament or just gods in general. I'm more of the latter because Hit seems quite an intelligent bloke. He seems to understand where his position is in the grander scheme of things. And I feel like Goku, for all his foibles, and everyone says he's not very bright, he is aware of his position, his standing. And even he says, for now. Like, he doesn't see them as being beings above him. He sees them more as people to reach, to attain a power. Nothing is out of his reach. He's always been known to have be perceived as having no upper limits, and that scene really shows that even though he pretends to not really understand what's going on, he does. Like, it's a good scene for showing that he grasps what's going on around him. Of course, when Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Beerus has a full sweat, and Whis even says, "Is this a threat to you?" Yeah. Of course, Whis would know if it was, but it's more about poking like fun at Beerus. Beerus was like, "Oh no, of course not. I just wondered why he didn't use it before." When we all know that Beerus can lie and actually lies frequently, Monoka is a good example of that. So I reckon at this point, when he sees the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10, he's aware that actually, if he can master said power, he actually is a real threat. Up until this point, anytime Beerus has kind of got angry or lost his temper or threatened Goku and Vegeta, they've more or less backed off. Maybe not in a straightforward way, but they have. So it's like they understand their position in the fact that Beerus could just kill him outright anytime he wanted. But then as we went forward and we went into the sort of the Zamasu arc, and they had a ton of Zenkai boosts, especially for like Goku after he got like wrecked several times, and he had a huge power increase. Yeah. He's obviously got massively stronger, and Beerus didn't really see much of that. So he's still seeing Goku on the level that he was in the Universe 6/7 tournament. After that arc, there wasn't really much interaction, but we know that Goku got much stronger during that arc because Zenkai boosts, that's how they work. Even if it isn't a big one, he would have still got stronger. And then after that, it wasn't really much. We had the hit arc, which I'm not sure if it's an arc or a filler. I'm not really sure how Toei wanted to approach it, but that did happen, and that's part of the anime, and so it has to be taken into consideration. That actually he fought Hit again, but this time, instead of losing, he fought Hit to a draw without Kaioken. Which means that he is now on par with the Hit, who had already surpassed his original power levels of the Universe 6 and 7, who is now vastly stronger. He fought him to a draw, yeah, without his Kaioken, which is just a crazy growth. So you gotta imagine how much more, how stronger he's got in that short time. I mean, I say short time. Time is not, it's not really very well shown, but I imagine it's not particularly long. Maybe a few months, maybe a year at the most. That's the time difference that's taken place. And obviously after that, we then head straight into the sort of the prelude to the Tournament of Power, and Goku's bored. Like, he can't find anyone to fight, and he's on Beerus's planet. I don't think we have a name for that yet. I mean, if we do, let me know in the comments below. But at the moment, I don't think we have a name for that. And he remembers that he has the button. Now, this is the scene that, like, one of the first scenes where I'm really starting to feel like Goku knows that he's as strong or stronger than Beerus. And hear me out, is that when he pulls the button out, Beerus is super serious. Probably the most serious we've seen him since maybe Battle of Gods. Or maybe when he Hakkai'd Zamasu. But we haven't seen him this serious for a long time. The music changed. The tone of the episode changed. Everything got real serious for a minute. But Goku didn't really seem to bat an eye. If anything, he actually tricked them and then teleported there, which says to me that he no longer sees Beerus as a threat. He reckons it as in, if Beerus wanted to start something, he could handle it. And we've seen him do this with previous protagonists throughout Dragon Ball Z. Look at Vegeta as an example. So on Earth, he was a real threat, dealt with him, kind of. He escaped, but on Namek, he wasn't a threat at all. Like, in fact, they were almost like pals by this point. He then does it again with androids. Androids were a threat, and then they weren't. And then he just treats them like pally. Like, even if they were to lose a temper, he'd be like, I can deal with it. Yeah, and he did this again in Dragon Ball as well, with the likes of Tien and Yamcha, and even Piccolo. How could I forget? Even Piccolo. Yeah? And so I feel like we're kind of getting to that point in sort of Beerus' story and Goku's story, where, like, actually, we haven't seen the fight that would determine it with, like, 100% proof, but his body language and attitude is screaming it. Like, that he doesn't see Beerus as a threat, and that if it was, he could deal with it. And obviously, we then got to the exhibition match between Universe 6. And he just openly outs all the gods and is like, come bring your fighters. Come try me. Like, there is nothing left in Universe 7 that is a real challenge for him. Like, if he genuinely had nothing better to do and he was looking for the strongest fight possible, why would he not just fight Beerus? I know I'm ignoring Whis a lot in this discussion, but Whis's mentality and tone is more of a mentor and less aggressive. Whereas a God of Destruction, so far we've seen are quite aggressive, and that's just generally their go-to. So the reason why I'm kind of ignoring Whis throughout this discussion is because I feel like because of the way in which his character is kind of designed, I don't think that really kind of fits well. But he clearly feels like there are stronger people out in the universe, in the other universes. Why is he not trying to tackle Beerus? Is it because he knows he could beat Beerus? And if he could beat Beerus, would Beerus just like straight up to like Hakai him? Because I'm not saying Beerus couldn't destroy Goku. I'm saying Beerus couldn't defeat him in a fight. Yeah? Which is entirely different. Now, obviously, we'll, as the universe, the Tournament of Power goes forward, we'll see what happens. And maybe we might get the Beerus versus Goku fight. But for now, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that actually Goku probably is on par with Beerus, maybe even stronger. And those are kind of my reasons for it. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. And of course, leave them down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, I'm Careless. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. And share it with your friends and all that good stuff. Until next time, catch you later.